guys are absolutely amazing. Number one team in the world. Number one team in the world.
To believe this is it. I am so excited for all of you. This weekend is all about you winning, you believing in yourself. You are going to leave this event with the belief that you need to charge for your dreams. You're going to have to dig down deep in your soul and realize that you got what it takes to make this happen for your family. A lot of these friends of mine have put their heart into companies, building a business like this in network marketing, and they've been let down. As we approach a $500 million company, are you thinking at all about selling or changing the model of our business?
You know, I don't think of myself as a genius, but it doesn't take a genius to realize that when you've got a good thing, you should probably hold on to it, right?
I've been working with the This Is It team since the very beginning, and I have to say, over a decade in this industry, this is one of the most professional teams I have ever worked with.
Steve and Gina, all the leaders that you see here on the front row, these are amazing people. I beg you, listen to them, be coachable, and you will have the best chance ever of winning. Be the light to people everywhere.
You need to believe that you are going to be sitting in these seats up here with SPDs. You just have to choose to partake.
Believe in yourself and go make it happen.
Disney is going to take second place to where the magic's going to happen. Because it's going to happen right here in this room with these people, because you are going after your dream.
Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Yeah, this is it.
Man, we are so fired up. Anybody out there got a dream? Has anybody got a dream? Come on.
This is it.
I want you to go out and start dreaming again.
Every day you wait and you procrastinate, it's a possibility that you could not win. The more you procrastinate, get over your fears, get over whatever issue it is. If you've got a fear, you got to start reading, working on it. You got to break through. You got to get home and get your butt in gear and work it. When they start seeing you work it, it will be a complete game changer in your business. A complete game changer.
What we have in the belief in this system we have here is we don't equip salespeople. We equip people how to win by sharing better.
Don't listen to your thoughts that are telling you negative things. Speak to yourself. I can do this. I can talk to that person. These two small kids from West Texas have stepped on every continent because of this industry. This is our 40-minute all-expense-paid trip because you've got to see the end from the beginning. There's hope in this little, tiny, amazing, magical patch. And there's hope in this opportunity. And we all have it in our hands.
You cannot have come here and leave the same. This was an investment in yourself. This was an investment in your business.
My boys will see this beach before they're 30 years old. So I started pre-framing. I believed it, so I could see it. I could see my boys on the mountain. I could see my boys on the beach. Sometimes it's just one moment, like on a mountain, or one moment on a beach. But then there's other times when it's layers of conviction that get you to a point where you finally see something bigger.
Oh, how I wanted to play that over and over and over. That's such a great video. And actually, we're going to be sending a link out so that people can actually replay that, because that's a snippet from last year's convention, the Believe This Is It convention. We got the new one coming up, Next Level, actually in August 8th, 9th, and 10th. We're going to be talking about that. So again, we're Greg and Meta Warm Beer, obviously here at the Next Level meeting that we do once a week. So I'm so glad that you're on here today. If you got some people that are supposed to be on, please text them and say, hey, we're getting started. We're getting this kicked off. And yes, this is being broadcast live on YouTube. So we're going to be sending this link out later. If you're brand new, this is a training platform that we do specifically to teach people how to get to the next level. So once again, how to go from where you are to get the next level, to get the next level, get the next level, meaning continue working, forward. So our goal, our dream, our mission is to make sure that everyone here wins, that everyone here actually accomplishes, big things. And so we're very excited. So I'll let my wife kind of kick it off, and we'll talk a little bit more about today.
So we want to thank you for joining us. This is just for leaders and obviously people who have already gotten started.
Truly is one of the best.
People that have already gotten started with us in this opportunity. Because, everybody can get to the next level, and nobody really gets started on anything without wanting to go somewhere.
Yep.
You don't start going to a gym without having the end in mind. And so when we got started with this opportunity, we had the end in mind, and not that we've reached the end, because, a senior presidential director doesn't mean that you stop sharing.
Yep.
We just continue doing what we do because we love what we're doing and we're passionate about it. And giving people hope and sharing hope is just the most amazing thing. We can share our services with people, but when you share hope and someone says to you, you know what? Thank you. Thank you so much for thinking of me. I did not want to wake up the next morning, and now I look forward to waking up. That is a blessing. That is an absolute blessing. So we are here to share hope this evening and to let every single one of you know that you can win. It is for every one of us to win.
The one thing I was noticing is some people are on here, but they're not on the audio for some reason. So Brendan, if you want to reach out to Narusha just to make sure that she's on the audio, that would be great. We're muting everybody once they get on, but it looks like she somehow jumped off that. So if you want to reach out to her, just make sure she can hear us okay. We want to make sure that everybody sees it. So again, this is being recorded, but our goal is to obviously get through this pretty quickly and talk a little bit more about, this is our team training that we do. And again, the part that we'd love about this is, once again, is actually being able to share. Yes, can you believe it? We're at the end of June already, so it's pretty amazing. So got one more week left of June, and then obviously we're into July. But really, the team that we're part of is This Is It team. We're super excited because a couple we work with directly is Ken and Diana Burke, and we also work with Steve and Gina Merritt. Steve and Gina sponsored someone who actually sponsored then Joyce, who sponsored Ken and Diana, who sponsor us. We all work together as a team, and Lily, all of us are senior presidential directors and above, which is amazing. And you're next. We're going to help you do the same thing. So our goal is to really help people get to the next level. So we're on a path all the way up to go to the top of the mountain. If you've ever done any hiking or anything like that, you look at where you're going, and then you basically start going on a path and start following the leader, which is kind of cool. And that's what we're doing, follow the leader to get to the top. So this is basically the next level training. This is a 90-day run for senior directors, strategies to accelerate basically your business. And today we're talking about this. The fortune is in the follow-up. This is something. Oh, that'd be a good thing.
Sorry, we just want to make sure that everybody stays on mute.
Yep. Give me a second. Make you co-host. Give me a second here.
And if you have anyone else that you have invited to get on this leaders training and you don't see them here, just take some time to text them. Let them know that we got started.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of people ask us specifically on certain things that we can train on. And I asked Mena to kind of share today a little bit more of the fortune follow-up, and we're going to talk about that towards the second half of the meeting. And so again, we're going to be talking more about that. And really, we want to dream big and thrive in 2025. And really, this is the year of acceleration. And so I always love having kind of a funny video or a video that we play or a video that shows acceleration. But I found a video. Imagine a life where everything you ask for actually happens. Right? Wouldn't that be amazing? Watch this video. It's pretty cool.
Could I call you right back?
Good afternoon, Bob. I was wondering if I could have $500,000 to upgrade our call center technology.
Well, sure. In fact, I think I'll just give you the cash.
Thank you. Nice.
Stanley, stop goofing off, okay? I need you to work. I need you to work. You got me?
Oh, Jim, hi. Hey, listen, I need you to find a way to connect our 2 contact centers with the ones from the new acquisition. Can you handle that for me?
Well, of course. I can flip the switch, have it done right now.
Knew you could.
Done.
Great. Oh, and I'm out of M&Ms. Could you bring me a pack of those, too?
Excuse me?
Hey, Bill. The CEO's ordered a new green initiative. Wants half of our contact center staff to work from home. Think you could set that up?
No problem. That should just take a second. There you go.
You the man.
If only it were that simple.
Nice work.
So sorry, I had to play that because it's just so funny because I'm going, a lot of people think that's what happens. You just talk to people about a stem cell activation patch and everybody signs up. That's not how it happens. So you got to follow up and follow up and follow up. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Once again, if the follow through really is the biggest key to this. But again, the fortune is in the follow up. So today we're going to talk about recognition. We're going to do some announcements, talk about, once again, the new team cash incentive update. For those of you brand new, we've been in an update now for about 7 weeks out of 9. We got couple weeks left of part of this contest. And yes, people are going to win some big cash. We'll talk about that. There's also a new LifeWave incentive that actually just finished up. I just thought about that, so we don't have to talk about it today. And then we have wins for the week that we're going to talk about, and basically talking about follow through. Once again, the fortunes and the follow up. So the very first thing we want to do is recognize sort of people at different levels. So Matt, if you want to talk maybe a little bit more about obviously the different levels we're recognizing.
So sorry, I'm just getting requests for the link for this meeting. So.
Actually, if you want to do that, I can talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will do her role. So, but anyway, the one thing we always want to tell people to do is, once again, there's a step-by-step process to build this business, and the very first step is what they call going manager. So, going manager, you basically get registered in the business, basically become a manager. You got to basically bring in, you got to be on the advanced pack and above, and basically bring in 2 people on the right, 2 people on the left, and basically now when you get 4 people on your team like this, basically at the core level or above for each of them, you basically are known as a manager. Now you can make up to $1,500 a week. So it opens up more money for you. Then the goal is just become a manager making machine. We want to help other people become managers. So once again, we want to help someone on the left side become manager, someone on the right side become manager. And then you become a director, you make up to $2,500 a week. I do tell people you got to have 3 people on the right now, 3 people on the left, basically do that. But the goal is really, we want to build as many people on the right, as many people on the left personally, and you'll identify some people on the right and left that want to be a manager, and that's what you want to do. So once again, the step on this is, once again, you become a manager. You have 2 right, 2 left, and then you become a manager. As a manager, you make up to $1,500. Once you have 2 managers, 1 manager on the right, 1 manager left, you become a director, make up to $2,500. As a senior director, now you make up to $3,500. But I do tell people all the time, imagine making $1,000 a week in this business. Imagine making 20,000 Rand a week. You want to become a senior director. Say, yeah, pick me. I want to do that. Well, we just expose this to a lot of people. Then when you hit executive director, that's a 6-figure residual income all day long. I'm telling you, this is up to $7,500 a week, but we start making over $2,500, $3,000 a week by basically at the executive, and 6 weeks later, we hit the presidential rank, and that's a multiple 6-figure income. We hit the senior presidential rank, and we can tell you right now, that's a lot of money. So again, you can make a lot of money from this. So we have a couple new managers that we want to basically recognize. I don't know if they're on. I know the one maybe on. Is Janae on?
No, Janae's not.
She's not. Okay, so we have a good friend of ours, Janae Pierce, who was sponsored by Michael Baker.
And he's on.
And Michael is on. So Mike, if you want to unmute yourself, if you can, I don't know if you can, I think he was on off screen, but Mike, if you want to jump on for just a second and say how you know Janae and how that happened, that'd be kind of cool. If you can't, that's fine too.
I think he's coming.
I'm on here. Can you hear me?
Hey, yes, we can hear you fine. So
So
yes,
we, I've
go ahead.
known Mark and Janae 30 years. Matter of fact, they just had their wedding anniversary, and they got married the weekend that O.J. Simpson had the white Bronco chase.
Oh my goodness.
And so, yeah, so that sticks out, obviously sticks out. So I've known them. I was just on the phone with her. She's stuck in a meeting. So very, very happy to, went out to dinner with them, took a couple of patches with me, gave them the information. We talked for a minute. And I said, hey, you got to talk to my buddy Greg. I said, he's going to run you through the whole thing. A couple of weeks later, I asked Greg, have you talked to him? He said, no, we were in a meeting. So he talked to him, boom, boom, boom. Now she's in. She signed up Stephanie, who's now also a manager. And so now I've got, Janae hit manager last week. I hit manager, I think 2 weeks ago. And so we both, actually, she and I just talked, we both have the goal of director or I'd like to be senior director by next level.
Nice.
I'm close. I got to get one more on the left, and then I got to get another manager on the right, and then they'll give me director, and then my got to get the volume up, which we're kicking down. So that we have our goals. Definitely got a group going to the next level. We're trying to build that up as well.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Congratulations, though. We're super excited for Janae.
So-
it was funny when, go ahead, sorry.
So just, Michael, you don't only have Janae as a manager underneath you, you have Stephanie and you have Bernice.
Now, yes, Bernice, actually, Stephanie's mom being a manager. So now Stephanie's got a manager underneath her, and she's about to be go-director itself, too. And then we're going to have Janae go-director and help you do the same thing, which is pretty exciting. So that's where things really start happening. But it was interesting that I knew Janae. Years ago, we did stuff with ministry work together and stuff like that. And she knew a guy that I did a lot of ministry work with, which was pretty interesting. And so as soon as he mentioned, I'm going, wait a minute, I know her. And I'd never contact her. Shame on me. But Michael got it, so which is awesome. We're just glad that Janae's part of the team.
And she's in our business.
And she's in our business, which is awesome. So that's even better. Because the worst thing is when you walk into a room or go to a convention and you see your friend there that you never talked to, and they're already at a different level. That's like not good. Anyway, so you want that.
I've got a couple of friends of mine up in Pinellas County that are managers that I didn't know, but it's all good.
That's right. It just encourages you now to talk to everybody else you know.
Right.
Before they do. That's awesome. But awesome. Congratulations again, Michael. So that once again, it's very, very exciting. So one thing we always also want to make sure that people know is Men and I, a couple months ago, maybe about a little over a month ago, we basically recorded a quick 14-minute and 14-second video of the LifeWave opportunity, basically the product itself. So what you saw us do in a presentation, it usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour. We condensed it down. We're very brief with belief, went through the information. I didn't talk as fast. I still talked concise, but we went through the slides very quickly and did that. So again, if you want to see that and utilize that, feel free to. Steve and Gina did it. They saw other people did it. We said, you know what, let's create one so we can have other people do that. But also we want to talk about the $10,000 Run for Freedom contest. How many people like the idea of freedom? I know for me, that was what I was fighting for. My wife just wanted me to basically be happy, and happiness was me getting out of my job. So I ran for freedom. But this is a contest where Men and I, along with Ken and Diana Burke and Josh and Paula Holdaway on our team, basically said, hey, we're going to pool some resources together and have our teams combine to basically run for this contest. So what does this mean? This contest basically started May 5th and goes through July 6th. So we still got 2 weeks left into this contest basically before it ends. So you basically got this week and basically next week, if I'm correct on this. Is that right? Yeah. So this week and next week, basically, to run for this contest. And basically, and we're going to go through some of the point standings right now of what it is. But once again, the winner's going to be announced on July 13th. So there's basically all these different winners, a total up to $10,000. Starts at $500, goes all the way to $3,000 for first place. And we're also going to have a little spin a wheel. So for every 3 points you earn, you actually can be placed on the wheel. So you could have like 30 points and get placed on there 10 times. But again, you basically 3 points, you get an entry on there. But that's gonna be for also $500. So anybody can win, which is kind of cool. So, but how do you earn the points? You earn the points by basically, when you register someone on a core pack, you basically get a 1 point. And this has nothing to do with LifeWave. It's nothing they're doing. It's something we're just doing as a team. So 2 points as a new advanced, 3 points as a new premium. So you get points that way. The second way you get points is that when you help someone become a manager, you get 1 point. You help someone become a director, you get 3 points. When you help someone become senior director,
they
you
have
get 5
to be
points.
a person that started after May 5th, or May 5th and above.
Sorry, and the date should say May 5th on here, not May 3rd. So so what's nice about this too is that once again, when they become a manager, they hit 2 points. When they basically hit the rank of director, 5 points, and they get up to 10 points. And these are all accumulative. These aren't, because there's nothing for upgrading. It's only basically when they first get started. But the points here, you can earn 1, 3, 5. So you can get 9 points basically if you help someone go all the way to senior director. So once again, which is kind of cool. So one thing that we do also is make sure that everybody sends us the information. Mena has been fantastic about this, but please send her your points. We don't even know if we're 100% accurate, but this is basically from her hard work, because not everybody's sending in the sheet. And there's a sheet that we have that'll send you in a second. You can scan a QR code, but go to send it to Mena's Philomena V. 930@gmail.com is where you're going to want to send her basically this sheet or let her know what points you have, because again, you definitely don't want to be missed out because you didn't track your own points. So the sheet that we have basically has where you put in the brand partner name, basically whether it's 1 point for core, 2 points, and then you start adding up the totals. And what happens is that by the time that you basically get done, you have a certain amount of points for each of the different things, and that accumulates the points that you have.
Where do the people get the sheet?
Okay, that's a great question. I'll have that in a second. So as soon as I get done going through the numbers, I'm going to pull up the QR code that actually shows where the sheets are. So this was last week's ranking. So actually, Providence and Becky was part of Josh's team, so Team Holdaway. Actually, we're number 1. Stephanie is basically, which is underneath the one we just mentioned, so she's number 2. And then Dennis and Delora O'Brien, and then all these other people below here. Again, if your name's not on there, you want to basically get points, because again, even if you get 3 points, you're going to basically enter it on the spin a wheel. But this is the update for. Wait a minute, that was the update. This is the update. Here's the update. Sorry. There we go. So now we have basically Providence and Becky basically are in first place. Stephanie is in second place. Cheryl Manning has jumped into third place. And now Dennis and Delora are now in fourth place. Now, just to let you know, Dennis and Delora had a, anniversary. So they took off last week. So this week they're going to take off like crazy. So they're not taking off, they're going to take off. So which is kind of cool. But anyway, so all the different names in here.
I just need to let you know, the last time we did this kind of thing, we had somebody who literally was not in the running for any of the prizes. And on one particular weekend, I think it was the weekend just before the event or the promotion ended, she went to town and she came second. She got second prize. So don't look at this and say, well, you know what, I'm nowhere near 28 points. I have like 2 points or 3 points. You can still do this. This is for anybody. And anyway, you know what, if you have 3 points or 6 points or 9 points, you have tickets in for the spin the wheel.
Yes.
So don't look at it and say, I'm too late. You're not too late. Just this past weekend, and you're going to hear from Fontini. She signed up already, I think 3 people and a 4th person that she's signing up. And that's given her points on the scoreboard, which she never had a few weeks ago when this all started. And she could be one of those that get second prize. So if you're feeling like you're not there, do change that story.
Yes.
Let this be the night or the day that you change that story, because you can.
Yes, exactly. So even at 10,000 Rand, I use an example, would that be good to you? Well, how about making 60,000 Rand? So again, all these different things. So this is where you get the information. So scan this code. It'll take you to the Believers for Life school platform. The very first thing on there, Brendan's put it on there, basically where you can actually get under the classrooms. I think the very first thing there says basically the Run for Freedom contest, it has on there. But the other part that you want to do is, if you're not signed up for it, it's going to ask you to sign up, put your information in, and basically Ken will give you access to that, so you can do that. Worst case scenario, contact the person who basically has brought you into the business, and they should have access to the sheet, or we can definitely send that to you as well. So next thing is once again they have different ticket options available for the next level. You heard obviously the goals that that Mike, and same thing with Janae and everybody else is running for, Stephanie running for the next level convention. They want to be at that actual leadership that's going to be on the one night. But there's also options for virtual. So for anybody in Europe, somebody's in South Africa, some people just got started. Well, best thing we could do is, if we get you registered and you want to sign up and register for this convention. It's once a year. It's October 8th, 9th, and 10th, and you get the recording for up to 45 days afterwards. You can watch the different recordings, and trust me, it has set us free. Well, the very first convention we went to, and we were there in person, but we went there, we made a decision. I was frustrated, she was frustrated, and said, that's it. Well, that was in August of 2023. By November 2023, I had replaced my income, because the momentum that carried from there, and all the people that we had watching with us that were on our team, they all took off, we took off, and all of a sudden our business exploded. So that's what we recommend. Don't see this by yourself. It's great you can be there, but you want to have your whole team, have people with you. Everyone basically watching this. And we're having people do home parties, watch parties, so to say, but you want to have a ticket for yourself, so you get 45 days. Because if you only get one ticket and you get 20 people watching it, well, you can't share that one ticket, that one link with everybody. You only use it for yourself. So they want their own. So basically the virtual access, I don't know what the price is now. I think it went up. I don't want to put this on here anymore. I got to take this off because the prices goes up on a weekly basis. So you want to get the information, scan this QR code right now, pull your phone out, Go scan it, and basically I'm going to make sure my thing's working because I had it just sent this out to somebody just earlier. Yep, goes directly to thisisaconvention.com, goes to the next level convention, and you basically are going to scroll through and get what you need. If you're in the United States, get a ticket ASAP, because we just had someone basically that wanted to get a ticket. They're afraid it was going to be already sold out. It's pretty close. So it's August 7th for people that are presidential and above. August 8th is they get the senior director and above leadership. They're starting at noon on that Friday, and the main session for everybody else starts at 6 p.m. And trust me, you want to be at this senior director and above leadership meeting. It's absolutely phenomenal. But it's an evening of Friday, all day Saturday, and they do a non-denominational worship service, church service on that Sunday, which is fantastic. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. You're going to learn so much from all the top leaders. It's fantastic. So you want to talk a little bit about this book of the month?
Yeah, so we share a book of the month. Every month it's a new book, and the book of the month for June is Who Moved My Cheese. So we're almost done with June. So I'm trusting that a lot of you that have gotten the book are through it, because it's pretty much easy read, very, very simple. But it's really all about the motivation to keep going. Because sometimes we every one of us is looking for something in this life, and when we find it, we tend to kind of just sit there, or we may just settle for less, than what we really are wanting in this life, because it's comfortable, and it's okay. But the whole thing is to be inspired and to be motivated to actually keep moving, because there's
Especially
more
when
cheese.
changes.
There's more cheese, especially when change comes, because a lot of the thing is people, when change comes, they get fearful and they stop. And they stop doing what they should be doing, and there could be a lot of different things. It could be you moving house. It could be you getting married.
Could be the changing, updating a compensation plan, which they're doing actually.
The compensation plan. Different things like that, the enhancement of the compensation plan that we've been talking about. So now a lot of people are sitting, like watching and waiting, and just
Run.
like, oh, well, when it happens, I'll be doing something. No, now is the time to run, because you want to be prepared for those bonuses that they're going to be paying out, and you might miss it if you sit around and wait for it to happen. So book of the month, readers are leaders. And that's what Steve and Gina Merritt believe. And they read through all these books before they actually recommend them to us. So if you're in and you've been with us for a while, you would have read some amazing books thus far. So keep going. And if you have not yet got the book, please do get it and read it. And be prepared for next month's book.
And what we do too is, once again, the audiobooks that are available. So again, that's something that people do on YouTube. You can just put in the audio version, full audio version of Who Moved My Cheese. We did that. We're driving back from Kruger National Park and listen to it on the way home.
Pretty much listen to the whole book.
Yeah, the whole book is literally. It's pretty awesome.
I like to read, though. I like to look at it and read it.
So this is the part we love to basically share wins for the week. So again, there's been a lot of wins this week. I know Mena's got a couple people she wants to pick on, but our to-do list is we want to win. We want to win again and win some more. And really what that means is helping other people win physically, financially, mentally, spiritually, and all these different areas. And again, so I'm going to come off of here, but I know, Mena, if you want us to call in a few different people.
Yeah, I have just asked Fontini to share with us. Fontini was with us this weekend. We've been doing some live events here in South Africa. And so we had an event 2 weeks ago and another one this past weekend, and we've been doing one-on-ones and things like that. So Fontini, I've asked you to share your win for the last couple of days. So, are you on?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Nice to see you on Zoom. And I just wanted to commend you guys and say thank you so much for your presentation you did on Saturday. Just also prompted to say, guys, perseverance is key. I had 4 sign-ups on Saturday, so thank you guys so much. I'm excited and expectant in going forward. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Congratulations. That's awesome. Yep.
I just want to say you actually went ahead and you invited a ton of people, right? Great.
Yep, and not all the people showed up, but the people who did show up signed up. And they're getting signed, which is awesome. So congratulations, we're super excited for you. And again, that's a part that we never know what's going to happen. And so from our let's just feedback from her.
Oh,
there we
okay.
go. Yeah. So one thing, we never know what's going to happen when we do meetings like that. We had a lot of people that say they're going to be there, and we had probably 50% that didn't make it. But still, we had a great meeting. We had like 30 some odd people, which was there, which was absolutely fantastic. And I think 13
were guests,
which is awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what you're looking for.
And that's the whole thing is, we keep talking and we keep moving forward and putting seed in the ground. And I know some of those people Fontini had spoken to previous to us even talking about this event. So she was sowing that seed, and eventually the people decided, well, let's go and listen. Let's go and find out about this, And sometimes it takes getting people in front of someone else because, they might be too close to you, and they've seen you do this and they've seen you do that and they've seen you do the next thing. And now they're wondering, well, what is this about now? You come to me with something else. Well, you know what? When Fontini decided to bring them to a meeting, and then they heard us say exactly what Fontini was telling them, she shared This Is It info, they saw it on This Is It info, they heard us talk about it. And so that just puts another nail in their decision to move forward. So I just want to say, for this time, I know Fontini often does 3 ways. She's like, hey, I spoke to this person, can you reach out to them? Because it's a good way, we're just going to be saying exactly what you said, verifying that, and people, credibility. For credibility purposes, it's a good thing to 3-way us in.
Yeah, okay. and another thing with that too is when we come to town like South Africa here, we tell people we're open, we're here to build a business, we're vacationing, but we're here to build a business. And really the biggest part is people take advantage of that. So I'm going to pick on Brendan for a second. So Brendan, you've had a couple different wins for the week. So tell us more what's been going on with your business.
Oh, thanks, Greg. Totally did not expect that, eh? No, I'm just joking. But yes, it's actually been super awesome. Obviously, to mirror what Fontini was saying, these LifeWeb events, especially when we have Greg and Mena presenting, it is a really awesome opportunity to obviously invite people so that they can see obviously more what everything is about. And I think it was really cool, obviously, having Greg. Obviously, we met each other at BNI, the networking group. And having Greg obviously come to the BNIs, it's really, really awesome to watch it in action. So obviously from Greg joining me at BNI, it's been really, really cool to have a few of the members from my chapter obviously sign up. Obviously, Narusha, she's one of them. She's on the call tonight. We actually got her started today. And, it's all about that process of just helping people help other people. That's why this business actually works. And I think we mustn't overcomplicate it either, because sometimes we get too much into, oh, I don't understand it. I don't get the compensation plan, or it doesn't really make sense. But, if you can't change it, don't stress about it. Rather just listen to what it is Greg and Mena are saying. And like they say, introduce your upline. I think that's one of the biggest things I've realized since working with Greg, since he's been up, is that so many people are talking about, oh no, I've spoken to 35 people, or I've spoken to however many people, but you haven't introduced one of them to your upline, or at least even if it's not your direct upline or the person that sponsored you, someone else that's on the team. And I think that's one of the most powerful things we can do. At the end of the day, when it's just you sharing the whole time, people are just going to think you're crazy because they don't understand you have a whole team behind you supporting. Because let's all be honest, when you see the patch, you think it's a scam. Okay? You think it's a scam when you see it like that. But when you involve people who have been on the patch, look at how awesome Greg and Mena are looking. The skin is glowing, and they are obviously a great walking example of what the patch health benefits can give you, but also the money side of it. I mean, they smile extra big because they can see the back office, they're making money. And that's because of the fact that they have a heart for helping people. So please, please, please just engage. I mean, like Greg said, Greg's schedule is open for anyone that would like to obviously use him, tie into anyone that you've been speaking to. It's not like I'm someone special. It's just that I'm listening and I'm actually doing what it is that they are asking, right? Because sometimes, if we have the opportunity to work with them, especially when they're here, we must really, really leverage it. You know, that's the whole point. Don't do unnecessary work when you have someone else that will work for free. Right. And I mean, Greg is really here to help you grow your business. And again, you know, if we had to pay what his hourly rates is, I think we'd all go broke. But he's here willing to help you grow your business. And this is someone who's extremely successful. Extremely successful. We mustn't underestimate the team members and support we have. So please do engage them. Even if it is just a message, ask them to give a phone call. Don't just be the person telling everyone. Use the help and support that we have. And that's all I'll say, because that's just a big win. To be on this team is a big win. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Brendan, I also want to ask you this. So when we're not in South Africa, are you still getting support from us?
Yes, all the time. I think, again, it's just to say, just because you guys are here in person, now we just go like extra crazy. You know, now Greg just doesn't sleep at all. But at least in America, you know, again, WhatsApp is a real thing. Zoom is a real thing. And we're right now on Zoom. This is how Steve and Gina built their business as well. I mean, they got started when it was COVID, and it was only possible because of Zoom. So let's, again, you know, just because it's in person, it's extra nice because you get that belly to belly action. But Zoom is business on easy mode. So let's just, you know, keep on. Phone Greg and Mena, they're just a phone call away. On WhatsApp, it's very easy and it's free.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's awesome, because again, I've always said we're always looking for students. And once again, they always say this: when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So when you say, I want to learn how to do something, all of a sudden a way of present itself, the right people present itself. And we're super excited because, again, we came here with the expectation that we're just going to build a business here in South Africa. Like I said, the Lord opened up the South Africa here, planted our heart in here and said, you know, you're going to build it here. So we're building in the United States, building here. Even though we have business in 36 countries, our heart's in South Africa and US. So again, we can develop it all over, which is not a problem. That's what we're going to do. But really, this is the two main areas that we want to develop, and that's what we're going to continue to do. But we're heading to Europe this fall.
All of Europe.
Yep, exactly.
And Israel.
Yep.
So I know there's a lot going on there, but we are very excited that we've got some partners that have come on board with us in Israel, and we got to just pray for them because it's a little tough right now. So
So we got time for one more. If someone's got anything else they want to share.
Anybody want to share?
Any other wins for the week that someone wants to share? If not, we're going to move on. So if you want to mute yourself. If not, it's okay. So save it for next week. So, but let us know what you want to share so we can basically do that, because we really had like a very successful meeting, had a lot of people who actually brought a lot of guests, which is great. I was very excited because Nurusha actually brought her family. I'm excited about having her mom have some great success with this. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and we're going to hear her testimony in a few weeks. I can pretty much guarantee it, which would be kind of cool. So again, the one thing we're going to be talking about again is we talked about all these different things. The next thing, is basically the follow through. And again, this is once again a team training that we do every single week, and today we're specifically talking about basically the fortune is in the follow-up. What I want you to understand real quick, kind of prefacing to this, is that we have a system that's in place, and there's a power of a system. And what does system stand for? System basically stands for save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. If you don't have a system, guess what? More stress, more time, more energy, more money. If you have a system, follow the system, and it will literally save you all these different things. So the one thing we do want to talk about is, again, we talked about this last week as far as the 10-step system. You want to know the 10-step system that we have, the 10-step system for success. The other thing is systems are highly duplicatable. That's the whole reason behind it. The reason franchises work is because they have a system that works. That's why people spend thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars on franchises, because they want a system that works for them. And this really is a learn, do, teach. You learn it, you do it, and then you teach it. And you want to make sure you know people's why during this whole process, because just like anything else, you got to have a why yourself. You know, like one of the guys who unfortunately just passed, one of the top leaders in this organization, absolutely amazing individual, talked about, he said, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's probably not a big enough why. And that's really what it is. For me, I wanted freedom. And then now it's been basically of us helping other people get freedom, right? And be able to do the things we want to do. And once again, you want to teach the steps, all the steps. Specifically on Saturday, we talked about the step 5, how to role play, how to make 3-way calls, stuff like that. But even in the follow-up, you want to basically do that. And the system really is the secret. It's not a secret from a standpoint that we expose everything, But really, if people understand that the system itself is the secret sauce to this business. And so when you go to This Is It team, you basically want to go as a home, the onboarding, go manager, and then basically 10-step system. You want to click on the 10-step system, and it's going to pop this up here. So once again, I'm going to move myself out of the way here, is that basically you want to determine your why. You want to set some goals. You want to make some commitments. What this basically means when you set goals is nothing more than a dream with a date on it. Make some commitments to things you want to do. You want to build a list of everyone that you know. And I tell people all the time, get a sheet of paper, get sheets of paper. I actually, I don't know if I brought it or not. I say, oh no, I didn't. I have a whole stack of basically names of basically people that I've been calling. Everything else, you want to build a list. You want to contact invite. We talked about that on Saturday. Then basically share the opportunity, but then you want to revisit and follow up. That's what we're going to really be talking about today. But really, when you follow with somebody and help them get started, what are you going to help them do? You help them determine their why. Help them set some goals, make some commitments, build a list, make some commitments to contact invite, and then you help them basically help people get started. What do you do with them? You help that person find the excited for an excited. You find the next excited person, help them find out their why are they doing this, set some goals, make some commitments. And in that whole process, you're changing lives with a product that's changing lives around the world, which is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to have Mena talk more about, step 5, and some of the things that she does. And then step 7, which is basically follow up, which again, it's basically, make a list, contact, show the presentation, and follow up. Make a list, contact, show the presentation, and follow up. That's all it really is. That's the action steps here. So I'm going to have her talk about step number 7 here. And so I'm going to have her kind of talk about a couple of things, and then we'll share on the website itself. Yeah.
Can we tell everybody where to find the sheet that we use? So
yeah, so let me do this real quick. Let me stop sharing, and then
so
I'll have to share.
You have to get out of trying to keep everything in your head. Because a lot of us are out there talking to someone, and then we're like, okay, well then I'll reach back out to them 3 days from now, and it's in your head. You've got to write it down. You've got to put it in your calendar, and you've got to go and look at your calendar and do it. Because when it's in your head, believe you me, 3 days time, you're busy putting fires out and you forget to get hold of that person. So I have gotten really good at setting the date to follow up and putting in my calendar. And then I actually let them know by text, great talking to you. We will follow up on Wednesday at 4 p.m. So that they have it for themselves. And that morning, I may just reach out to them and say, hey, just confirming we're talking at 4 p.m. today, or we're meeting at 4 p.m. today, because I want to be in control. When it's your business, you want to control. And you know what? When you control it, you can control the outcomes, the results. So,
Show them with the sheet.
Okay. So when you go to thisisateam.com, you go to downloads.
You go to 3 lines here, and then go to downloads.
You go to downloads, and you're going to find the sheet that you complete where you put the names of the people. So you can download this, you can print it. I recommend you print it, because you want to have it in front of you. If you have it on your phone kind of thing, I like tangible. I like to see it in front of me, a piece of paper where I can write on it, scratch out, that kind of thing. So you're going to put the date you spoke to them. You're going to put their name. You're going to put their numbers, everything. You're going to tick whether you shared This Is It info with them. Okay. If you patch them, if you were with them, you're gonna tick that you patched them. Place patches, which is really the order, doctor video. Did you send them the videos? Did you send them a Zoom invite? Did you introduce them to your upline? We were just talking about that. So it's got all these different activities, so you can kind of track what you've been doing with this individual, okay? So the whole thing is to put their names on this list and to keep adding names to the list, because we have the system. The system is we talk to X amount of people a day. This sheet says patch or call 5 or more people daily, okay? You can set your number. The thing is, if you set it at 3, if you set it at 2, if you set it at 7, it's daily. Daily means every single day. Okay, we do like to take a Sunday, just for family, for church, for whatever it is that you do. It's a break day. But I say to myself, if I haven't done my 5 a day, I'm going to be working on Sunday. Okay, I don't really see this as work, because we actually go to church, we meet people, we out, we do things, and we talk to people, so we share. But anyway, so Patch, so you set the number, then you revisit, okay?
follow-up, yeah.
That's follow-up. So the fortune is in the follow-up. I was taught that many years ago by my mentor, and she said, if you do not follow up with people, you might lose them to someone else, okay? So we're all in business for ourselves. And the only way we actually do close a deal is by touching people.
Yeah.
And we if I just speak to, like today, we had a guest over and I was sharing with her and she said, oh, great, send me the info. She wants to share with her 2 daughters, one in the UK, one here in South Africa. And she says, I know a lot of people that I can share with. So I said to her, yeah, so I sent her the info. I shared a few testimonies with her. Now, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to be following up with her in 2 days' time. She's in my phone, on my calendar, and I wrote her name out on the sheet of paper. And if I don't do it on Wednesday, what is today? Monday, Wednesday. I usually do 2 days because you want to give people some time to look at thisisatinfo.com.
Yep.
People get busy, they do their thing. So give them some time, set it up with them, and then follow up. And the follow-up is usually to find out, well, do they have any questions? Did they see something there and they have a question that you can answer for them? And if you can't, get them in touch with your upline who will probably be able to help, Or maybe they say, hey, I'm thinking about it, and well, what more can I do to move you forward? What would you like to see? Or what is it that's holding you back? So try and answer those questions for them. Now, you're not always going to get them when follow-up happens. So you set it for Wednesday, and now they tell you, sorry, today's not a good day. I haven't really looked through everything. Reset it.
Yeah.
At that point, reset it. Don't just say, oh, I'm sorry. Well, we'll talk soon, or keep me posted kind of thing. Because believe you me, there's no date. You want to set a date, you want to be in control. So if the person doesn't answer or they're not ready to talk to you, you set another date.
Yep.
And if that happens again, you set another date. Or what you can do is you set another date, but you can send them the doctor video, or you can send them a testimony. Maybe they told you they have a child that has asthma, and you know that there's a testimony on asthma. You send them that, and that's probably going to be, oh my goodness, this is going to help my child. So light touches, don't keep. We know some people who speak to 10 people and then they keep going to the 10 people every single day. Believe you me, you blow them out of the water and they are
It's a good way to lose friends.
They are
bug
gone.
somebody, but no. We're professionals, not pests.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you just find out and know what their why is. Really know what their why is, because, sometimes people fall off. Like, you've checked with them 3 times and then they don't answer your call, and you ask them, well, are you really serious about getting out of debt? Like,
Go back to the dream.
what are you going to do that is going to get you out of debt? Going to get another job, a second job, more time, no time with family, etc. So find out their why, because you always want to go back to that. And you want to, and make sure when you ask them about their why, that they really define it. It's not like, oh, I want to get a new car. Well, what car do you want? Have you been for a test drive? Do you know how much that car costs? So what are you going to need every month in order to get that car?
Yep.
And what can you do besides this opportunity to get the vehicle?
Yeah.
And if there's nothing that they can do, then this may just be for them, or maybe they want to retire. Maybe they're 70 and they just can't stop working because they don't have the means.
Yeah.
So the why is really important. Now, follow up is not only just to get them signed in or activated, but we follow up even when someone says, I'm ready, like Narusha. So she's signed up, she's getting her product. Now, Brendan's going to be talking to her within the next few days. Hey, Narusha, did you get your product? Hey, Narusha, remember, stay hydrated, more minerals, you know, and 12 hours on, 12 hours off, you know, set them up to win. Set them up to win. And then ask the people, like if someone's ready to get started, well, who do you know? Who do you know?
4 people. Just start with even 4.
Yeah, who are 4 people that you care for, that you love, that you think need this? Not just the product, but possibly the income, the opportunity, and start helping them to make a list. Because exactly what Steve and Gina did with us, Ken and Diana did with us, you know, this is how you go manager. This is how you go director. You heard Michael talking about it. They're already talking about what they need to do to get director done. And so that's how we move everybody forward. We have to follow up. If we just keep signing people in and putting them in, and then we go on to the next one and we forget. No, we have to keep inviting them, invite them to a Zoom. Opportunity meetings, invite them to next level training, invite them to Saturday training, invite them to the convention, because that is how we get people engaged.
Get a bigger picture. That's the whole thing that we want to do is build. All these things are belief builders, and that's the biggest part. So the first time someone sees this, they get a little bit of belief. The next time they go on the website, they get more belief because also it builds credibility. The next time you follow up with them, they get more belief. When you introduce them to your upline, they get more belief. So that's the whole part. And then also there becomes layers of conviction. Also you say, I want this product. And there's layers of conviction. You go, I got friends who want to use this product. So a lot of things is like, who do you know? Once again, it's a big word. You can say, who do you know that could benefit from this product? Who do you know that wants to make an extra 20,000 Rand a month? Who do you know that wants to make an extra $1,000 a month? Who do you know that wants to make an extra, $10,000 a month? Whatever. So if you think about that from a standpoint, you always want to think about that. But the one thing I was talking to Brendan about today is that the challenge that happens is that what people could be, you could be like, think of a scale of 1 to 10 being super ambitious, very successful at 10. Say you're a 7. Right? You're a 7, you're successful, you're doing well. 7s have a tendency to talk to 6s, and 6s have a tendency to talk to 5s, who talk to 4s. Next thing you know, you're talking to somebody who's got no money, they don't have any ambition, and you're going, how did I get here? What you want to do is take someone who's a 7 and find a bunch of the people that are your level and above. The most successful people, the most successful, ambitious people that you want to talk to them, because if you don't, someone else will. Now you got a row of all these successful people, and then you say, who's the one who wants to run right now? Well, now we're going to work with the person who wants to run right now. And then you've helped those people find people at their level and above. And those people basically have all these successful people. That's how things start happening. Because when someone says, I can't afford the patches, I can't do this. Well, one thing said, we heard Renita talk about this, Menace says, well, how long do you want to have that to be your story? When do you want to change?
How soon do you want to change that story? How soon do you want to change that story? So, people, excuses, people can make excuses, and, they'll never get ahead in life, and excuses just, their fear, kind of couched in a form of an excuse. We need to have those. We need to unpeel the level, the layers for them. We need to answer objections, and that is part of follow up. Oh, well, I looked at it, but I don't really know if it works. Well, I was there. I thought it was a big hoax, seriously, a little patch.
She kept on saying, don't even think about it. I said, oh, it's X39.
So you can use my story. This lawyer really skeptical, and she even wanted to kick Ken out of her house. You can tell them. And now I'm a believer. We've even hit senior presidential director, and we're still talking to people. We're still adding people to our list,
Every day we love it. It's fun.
So the whole thing is follow up. I did touch on it on Saturday, but not everybody who's on the Zoom was there on Saturday. But the fortune is in the follow up. We've actually picked up people who other people have spoken to
that
never followed up, and they wondered where they went. They liked what they saw, they liked what they heard, but this person did not get back to them, and now they're ready to get started. And you don't want that to be you.
No.
You don't want to kick yourself and say, oh my goodness, I spoke to them. So don't let that be you. We all just need to touch as many people as we decide. You make your decision. What's your number? And then be consistent. Be consistent, get it done. And really, it is so easy. not even a 5-minute call, because you don't need to explain.
No.
You just need to say, and Joe Navarro does a really good job. Hey, I thought about you. I've come across this technology. It's changing people's lives. You don't want to miss out on this. You don't want to miss out on it. Please, I need to talk to you. Give me 5 minutes. I know you're busy. I'm busy. I just need 5 minutes of your time. Get them on the phone, give them 2 testimonies, send them this is it info, and then set the follow-up or invite them to a Zoom.
Yep.
That's it.
And to me, the important part of this too is if you can set the follow-up right then and there. Again, the different part about that, if you didn't set it up, then even text them, say, you know what, I forgot to set up a time to set up to you. I know you're busy, I'm busy. I got some time, say today's Monday, so I got some time on Wednesday. I got some time at in the morning or in the evening. What works better for you? Set up two options, and they say, well, I could do something in the evening. Great, I could do 6 o'clock or I could do 7:30. What works better for you? Well, and you put the times together, because that's the one thing you want to do is be able to set up the times for the follow up. Because when you're in the calendar, there's an expectation. If it's just I'll give you a call when I get a chance. Well, sometimes you get busy, you forget, and next thing you know, you're leaving the person in the lurch. But the second part is if you don't get a hold of them, then you have to call them again, and you reach out to them again, and now you're becoming a pest. And you get to the point that if you've done this, I want you to say this, and I want you to practice. So you want to reach out and say, you can even call them and say, by the way, I got your voicemail. I know we've been trying to get it together. I'm feeling like a pest. I apologize. We're professionals, not pests. Let's put something in the calendar. I got some time this day or this day. What works best for you? Mm-hmm. And if they just leave a voicemail and text them at the same time, just say, hey, I'm feeling more like a pest. I'm a professional, not a pest. I want to set up a time to get together with you. What day works best for you? So
I just want to share 2 examples, mm-hmm. Okay? So there's a young lady that we connected with, and she was very interested in what we're doing. And she was newly engaged. They had set a wedding date, and she let us know, hey, I really don't want to do anything until I'm married, okay? She was really, really busy for this wedding that was coming up. And it was a few months away, and so we were excited that she was excited, but she really just wanted to push it off. And you know what? I actually put that wedding date in my calendar, and I reached out to her after she got back. And she was so surprised that I remembered to call her after the wedding, and that I gave her that time, mm-hmm. that they got started with us. Mm-hmm. And to this day, she remembers. She's like, you know what? One of the things that got me on board was that you respected the fact that I told you, mm-hmm. I cannot do anything for this time. It wasn't 2 days or a week or a month. It was a few months. Yeah. But I was patient enough, and I then remembered to follow up with her. And because of that, and because she also had an interest, obviously, and she was excited, but she was grateful that I had respected that. The other example I want to use is Denise Velez, mm-hmm. She was one of the first people we spoke to in December 2022. Mm-hmm. She got started with us, and we worked with her, but she was just like all over the place.
Doing 14 different things.
We followed up.
Actually, four businesses.
And she was doing 4 different businesses, and we followed up. And she never pushed us off, but she just didn't do anything. Mm-hmm. She listened to us. She said, yes, yes, yes. And she kept telling us about some people she was thinking of, but nothing ever happened. And 2 years later, she knew about the conventions because we always invited her. We always invited her to Zooms, and we kept touching her. And it was when Rise Up was happening. So last year...
No, this year, January.
Oh, this year. But last year, December, we spoke to her.
Yeah.
So we got on the phone and we said, hey, Denise, you need to upgrade. And there was some promo going on. Mm-hmm. And we said to her, if you do this is what will happen. But then we also told her about Rise Up. Mm-hmm. And she felt sorry for Greg and I. She said, I'm going to buy tickets for Rise Up.
I'll help you out.
I'll help you out. I'll buy a ticket for Rise Up. And so the way she tells the story, it's so funny. She then has to attend Rise Up. So she had previously bought a ticket for another virtual event.
Yeah.
She never even got on. Okay, this time she buys the,
She made the commitment to
she buys the virtual ticket. She gets on, thinking she's doing us a favor just by being on the virtual event. She gets the surprise of her life because she sees Greg and I actually on the Eric Worre
stage
in the studio talking. She's like, oh, they're actually senior presidential directors, and I think I'm doing them a favor just by she saw that we had gotten to that place. Like she thought we needed her.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what inspired her. So she made a decision. She said, I'm getting this done. She got manager done in a month. She set a goal. She got director done the next month, and she's growing a really strong, firm Spanish team.
There's a huge Spanish team.
Spanish team of doctors and so on. Miami, down south there, Florida, Orlando, North Carolina, and different places.
She's tying it all to the Spanish meetings, which is great.
So, we didn't sit and wait for Denise, shame Denise, please join us. But we were all inclusive. We make sure everybody knows what is going on, meetings, this, that, the next thing. They have a choice. And at this point, Denise thought this favor was going to be, she's a good person, she'll do us a favor, but she actually did herself a favor. And now she's like fully
Very
vested.
excited. Very excited.
So those were my two examples that I wanted to share.
But everybody that's on here that we've talked to personally, we followed up and I don't think there's anybody on here that says, just sign me up. Almost everybody is basically, it takes 2, 3, 4 times to follow people. Sometimes it's the first time, but that's not usually the case. It's usually you got to follow up with them, give them information, have them time into a Zoom meeting, time something else, get together with them in person, whatever it is, and all these things start happening. So again, we could go on and on, but the big thing I wanted to share with you again is I started pulling it up, is actually on the website. Once again, this is step 7. Revisit, follow up. It's got some videos in here. Once again, it's got information in here. Once again, simply pointing the prospect to schedule lecture on Zoom can be used as a follow-up meeting, a one-to-one, a home meeting, a hotel open. So all this wording in here is great. So once again, even gives a script of kind of how to follow up with somebody and talk about, once again, the power of the binary. And I know you're excited about the process. So go through this. It's really, really, really good. But also, again, go to over here, click on this, go to downloads, click on downloads. As soon as you go to downloads, it's got the order forms. It's got the opportunity slides. You can click right on here and get the same slide deck that we use. Basically, the same thing. We add a couple other slides as far as testimonials, but that's it. And then again, in here, you scroll down a little bit further. It's got, once again, print this off. We've had everybody who's printed this off. Janae put down in here, basically, as a manager, the date she wanted to do it. She accomplished it. And that's what you want to do. Same thing for director, everything else. Now, here is the sheet for the follow-up. Once again, I clicked on this before, so I'll open it up over here. Is that you want to have this sheet, print these off, print off 10 of these, print off whatever, because each of these I think have 25 spaces on here, and start getting names out of here and put them on there. That's what you want to do, and that's what you do to basically track it and follow up. It's easier to look at a sheet than to scroll through and say, well, who do I talk to today? You'll start scrolling through going, let's give Denise a call. Let's give Janice a call. Let's give Bob a call, whoever. Let's give Brendan a call, whatever, right? And then you can also do the same thing as far as people who are brand partners, following up with them, touching base. Hey, how are things going? Who are some other people you thought about? How can I help you get started? And really, that's the key to the system, and then we're done, is basically the 10-step system is once you help someone, now you want to follow up with that new person, solidify their why, what's their goals, what's their next goal, what do they want to accomplish, have them make some commitments, what time frame do they have, how much time do they have, help them make a list, help them contact, help them share your presentation or tie them into a Zoom meeting, like the meetings that we do on Mondays, and like I said, tie people into anybody you know in Australia. If you know anybody who knows anybody in Australia, tie him into that meeting that Matt and I are doing.
6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for everybody in the States.
Yeah, and 12 o'clock, South African time. So, but again, get people started, and that's really it. So the biggest part of this is the system's here for a reason. All this stuff is here. If you haven't gone through this website, devote some time to spend some time on this website. Start going through the 10-step system. Even if you don't go through every single little detail, you want to go know it so that when someone says, well, how do I contact somebody? You want to be able to go here and say directly how to contact and basically do that. So yes. Something it's time. So
yeah, it's time.
So
we don't want to keep people over the hour, but
no. Anyway,
we appreciate every single one of you that has joined us this evening. You know, and if you have questions about what was shared tonight, or you have anything that concerns you, you're like, hey, you know what, I want to do this, but I'm stuck here.
9 o'clock.
Or I've got this going on. Please do let us know. You know, we don't. Nothing's a secret. Nothing's a secret, and we want to help everybody. So thank you for being on this evening, this afternoon, and
we always end in prayer because that's one thing we
appreciate
want to
you.
pray a blessing over you. And
we want to pray a blessing over every single one of you, and for those that aren't here, because some people unfortunately have asked to be excused for various reasons. They've got some things happening, challenges and so on. So we do remember them as well. But if you don't want to be want a blessing prayed over you, you're more than welcome to jump off at this point in time. But otherwise we are going to close and say good night. Okay, so I will close in prayer. So Father, we thank you for this opportunity that we can come together and just share and be excited about something that is changing people's lives, Lord. And you are the one who created, Father. You created us all, Father, to prosper, to be in good health, Father, and to be a witness out there for you so that people may want to know what it is that we know. And so, Father, thank you for this opportunity. We thank you also, Lord God, for every single person that is present here, for their families, that you bless them, that, Father, they will encounter people that need a change, that need to change their story, Father, for whatever it is, whether it's for their spiritual walk, whether it's for their financial or for their health, Father God, even for their families. We thank you, Lord, that you will put these people in our paths and you will increase us and you will take us from one degree of glory to the next. We thank you also, Lord, that you'll keep us all safe. And Lord, bless David Schmidt, bless the business, bless all the leaders, Lord, in our business. Also Steve Merritt, Father God, that you'll continue to heal his body. In your name, Father, we pray this. We thank you, Lord, that we can come to you and we can ask for blessing over our lives because we are blessed. We are yours and we are blessed. So thank you, Father, for this time. We pray this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Well, God bless you guys. Have an amazing day. Thank you, Brendan, for sharing. Thank you, Fontani, for sharing.
Yes,
we're here in South
that
Africa for basically, I'm here for another week. Ben's going to be here for just a little bit longer. But our goal is, once again, is to help you grow. So let us know how we can help you grow. So again, we're going to let you go now. But if there's any questions you have, please let us know how we can help you out. We want to get everybody rocking on a big level. And if you haven't registered for next level, register ASAP. Prices keep on going up and you want to take advantage of the lower price. And again, if you got any questions, let us know. So God bless you guys, and hope this helped you. I know this is one thing that we do, and we're consistent about it. So just keep applying the same things, and you will get results. So God bless you guys.